Will be able to use addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division with integers. In the past, you went over how to add integers, you learned how to subtract integers, and you learned how to multiply and divide integers. But today's lesson, we're going to put them all together. And when that happens, you got to follow a specific acronym that tells you which one you should do first. So when you have more than one operation, you have to follow an acronym that's called PEMDAS. It's really the order of operations, right? It tells you what order comes first, second, third, and fourth. And I'll go over them right now. So the first level, think of it as levels. The first level is always your parentheses. But please be careful. A lot of kids think that this down here is parentheses. Technically, it's not. I mean, you're using parentheses to show 5, but it's not true parentheses. True parentheses is more like what's in red. It's, once again, that little hook, that curve, but there's an operation inside the parentheses. When you see something like that, that is the true parentheses. That's the one that you should always do first, not this. So after level 1 comes level 2. Level 2 is exponents. Exponents like that small little number that you see on the top here. That is your exponent. The reason why that goes next is because you're not doing 2 times 3. To solve 2 to the third power, you're actually doing 2 times 2 times 2. So that's why exponents come before any of the other operations besides parentheses. Now, after exponents comes your level 3. Level 3 is kind of funky now. Notice how there's 2 operations, not 1. So it's multiplying and dividing. So in this case, and they have multiplying or dividing here, in this case, it's not multiplying always comes before dividing. It's whatever one you read like a book first. So if you have a problem and it's like 3 times 2 divided by 3, please understand that you're multiplying first because you're reading that first like a book left to right. However, if the problem is 3 divided by 3 times 2, here you're actually dividing first before multiplying because you're reading the division first like a book left to right. So multiplying and dividing, in short, are the same level. They're both level 3. But you determine which one you do first by reading it like a book left to right. And level 4, same thing. Adding, subtracting, they're both the same level. So it's not like adding always comes before subtraction. It's more whichever one you read first like a book. So if adding comes first when you read it like a book left to right, then you add first. But if subtracting comes first, then you have to do subtraction first. I mean, like everything else, once you see a concrete example, it becomes a little bit easier. So I recommend writing the acronym on the side here, PEMDAS. And the first thing we're going to do is see if there's any parentheses. Once again, this right here is not considered parentheses because there's no operation. It's just -4. However, this right here, that's parentheses. So that's what we're going to be doing first. So we're going to underline and we're going to solve 2 minus 10. Remember when you subtract integers, use keep, change, change. So keep, change, change. It's really 2 plus -10, which is -8. Now I can bring everything else down. Plus 8 times -4 plus -13. And then I'll take it from there. So now I'm done with parentheses. I move on to exponents. However, there are no exponents. There's no little small numbers. So gone. So now we move on to multiplying or dividing. Because I don't see division at all, it's just multiplication, I'm doing that next. I underline where the multiplication symbol is. And I'm doing -4 times -8, which is positive 32, right? A negative times a negative is a positive. And I'll bring everything else down. And once again, there's no division, so that's gone. And then right now we're done pretty much. The last level is adding. There's no subtraction at all. So I'll just add straight across. I'll do this one first. Signs are different, so technically I'm going to subtract. So 32 minus 13. I get 19. It's positive 19 because there's more players on the positive team than the negative team. And I'll bring down the plus 8. And now I only have one operation left, so that's really easy. 19 plus 8, and I get 27. So my final answer is 27. I'll do one more with you, and then you can do the rest on your own. Once again, here I see more than one operation, so right away I do PEMDAS. And the first step is to do parentheses. That -5 is not real parentheses. Real parentheses is the 5 minus 8 because you have an operation inside the parentheses. So I'm going to do 5 minus 8 first. Once again, when I subtract integers, I do keep, change, change. So keep, change, change. And it's 5 plus -8. 5 plus -8, -3. -3 because the negative team has more players than the positive team. And I'll bring everything else down. I'll bring down the 12, the -5, and on the other side, the -16. From here, I check to see if there's any exponents, but there's no small little exponents, so done. Now I move on to multiplying and dividing. There's only multiplication, so that's an easy one. I underline where there's multiplication here, and I solve that next. So -5 times -3 is positive 15. I'll bring down everything else. So plus 12 and -16. Here, I want to make it clear. I'm not adding first because there's an A here first. I'm adding first because when I read like a book left to right, this is what I see first. So I'm going to add now. 12 plus 15 is 27. So 27, and I'll bring down the -16. And then my last step is 27 minus 16, which is 11. And that's it. So do the rest on your own.